It's an absolutely wild day in the world of MTG. Wizards of the Coast finds themselves involved in a legal situation regarding Magic the Gathering NFTs.
Magic. I am a wizard! History. I'm an old wizard! The magic historian. My bones hurt.
Greetings! Owners of fine luxury cardboard rectangles, my friends! I hope the day finds you well because we have gathered to talk about a fascinating and also confusing situation involving Magic the Gathering NFTs. Now, I want to state that the situation we're dealing with seems pretty complex overall. I don't have a huge, deep understanding of the world of NFTs and crypto and things like that. So, I'm going to be giving you my opinions of the situation as it has unfolded, and I'm going to try and keep this as simple as possible, although I will take a moment to explain the acronyms as we go through them. But rest assured, we don't have a ton of those to deal with. So, the first one that I want to knock out of the way is we're starting out by talking about something called MTGDAO, right? So MTGDAO is what I'm going to call it. Now, you already know what Magic the Gathering MTG part is. DAO stands for Decentralized Autonomous Organization, which is just a word salad overall. Anyways, that's like a way of saying that it's an independent organization, decentralized, not controlled by one particular country or whatever else. As far as I understand, that's what crypto individuals mean when they start talking about decentralized, right? They call it like DeFi, decentralized finance. The idea is that it's like the people control it. So admittedly, like on the surface, the idea of some of this crypto stuff that will be used across the board for everybody seems like it might have potential in the future. But right now, as far as I'm concerned, NFT technology really just falls into the category of like scamish to me, because NFTs, and I mean, if I'm wrong, go ahead, correct me in the comments. As far as I understand, an NFT is just like a website address that points to like a particular picture or object, whatever it is, and that's literally all it is. It works kind of like a receipt, like, yo, I own the thing that's at the end of this website address, but that can be changed. It just feels like this really tenuous sort of strange concept that's not really, it's not based on any foundation in reality with real objects, it feels like. But anyways, the idea with Magic the Gathering NFTs would be you have these like digital objects that are like magic cards, right? So the MTGDAO organization is coming along and going, we want to create a Magic the Gathering NFT setup. Non-fungible tokens is what NFT stands for. Basically, they're going to create little website addresses that say, you own a copy of a Black Lotus, or you own a copy of whatever new Teferi, whichever particular card it is. Each individual Magic card would have its own NFT assigned to it. But the number of these NFTs would be extremely limited and ratchet upwards in price. So the idea behind this is somebody wants to go, okay, you have to already own the physical Magic card. So you have to already own a physical Black Lotus. Then you can purchase the Black Lotus NFT, and then you play in what's called the MTGDAO format, where you only can use cards that you can verify you have the NFTs for. So imagine this, you have to verify you have the NFTs for each individual card in your deck. It's like being asked to provide a receipt for every card you own in your deck when you go to sit down to play Magic. On top of that, the prices of these digital NFTs, they essentially like multiply up a scale to the point where you're only going to be allowed to have maybe 15 to 20 copies of cards in the format, and they will just get prohibitively expensive. Like the first person who buys a Black Lotus gets it at the best price. The next guy pays double, the next guy pays quadruple. Now these are obviously just like shorthand mathematics. It's not the exact stuff from their white paper, but literally they put out a 7-page paper talking about how they want to make the digitalized version of Magic where it's essentially even more insane than the current era of like old school vintage Magic, right? We've got the reserved list, which says Wizards of the Coast can't reprint all of these particular cards. and creates a supply problem where people can't get the cards. But with this NFT setup, they were going to take it a step further where you can only play with these cards if you have the NFTs. There's maybe 20 NFTs at most for each card. If you want to get an idea of this, like think about how rare Black Lotus is. There are a ton of Black Lotuses in the world. Now think about how many beta Black Lotuses you've seen. You probably haven't seen very many. There are over 10,000 of those in the world. Think about an Alpha Black Lotus. There are over 1,000 Alpha Black Lotuses. You've probably never seen one in your life unless you've seen it in a picture somewhere, right? So, you've got over 1,000 Alpha Lotuses, one of the rarest cards in the game, but to play with a Black Lotus, the NFT for that, there'd be like 20 in the world. So essentially, it's creating an even more expensive variation of Magic for like the biggest whales of Magic to play in. And the way that the paper presents the concept is one where they say this will actually create fun because only like the first adopters and the people with the most money will be able to play the really expensive top tier decks that you see in the meta, and everybody else will be forced to buy less valuable cards and pick out new strategies, and that will create a fresher meta and whatever. And it's like you're literally creating an even bigger pay-to-win format than already exists. You're literally locking other people out from being able to get the best cards. The whole argument is everybody gravitates towards the best cards in Magic because we all look online and look at everything and people play those decks. But if we make them prohibitively expensive and really difficult to get, then we solve that problem. But ultimately, the biggest problem that this white paper is trying to solve is the whole, well, when you put money into Magic, you're not guaranteed to be able to get all your money back out of it. And it's like, that's because it's a card game. We all played this card game to play the card game, but this is literally commodification of the card game, right? So your brain goes, all right, I'm with you so far. This other organization that isn't Wizards of the Coast is like planning to make NFTs, put them out there on the blockchain, do all that sort of thing, right? And it's treated the same way. It's almost like Bitcoin, but instead with little Magic cards that you trade around or sell. I don't know. Admittedly, I still have a bit of a hard time wrapping my idea around how this whole thing is supposed to work. And you know who else has a hard time wrapping their head around it? Wizards' legal department. So, Wizards of the Coast sent these guys a nice little email where they were actually surprisingly polite about this. I guess it makes sense to be polite. I'm going to go ahead and put up on the screen the pertinent part of this letter for you guys, as it will help to illustrate exactly what is wrong with what this company is doing. So it says, your enthusiasm for Magic the Gathering is evident and appreciated. The team at Wizards is also impressed by the work you've put together into developing a new format for playing Magic the Gathering. Unfortunately, your intended use of Wizards' intellectual property, including its trademarks and copyrights, would be unlawful. You appear to be operating under the mistaken assumption that the project would be legal because you would allow the reproduction of Magic cards in the form of NFTs only by a player who had purchased a physical card, a card on Arena, or a card on MTGO. This is not correct. It is the exclusive right of the copyright owner to reproduce the copyrighted work, such as a Magic card, in any format. While there is an exception in the copyright statute for making a backup or archival copy in some circumstances, this privilege extends only to computer programs and not to other types of work. And then it has a citation and says, Wizards is currently evaluating its future plans regarding NFTs and Magic the Gathering cards. No decision has been made at this time. In use of NFTs in connection with Wizards' intellectual property is therefore strictly prohibited. So, clearly the legal team is reaching out and saying, look, you seem to be under the misapprehension, and it actually does state specifically in their white paper, because I did read the white paper. It's 7 pages long, and if you want all the details, you can go and read through it all and sort it all out, get your own kind of vibes on it. But either way, it does state in that white paper specifically, we can legally do this. And I remember reading that part on like the first page and just kind of laughing to myself going, you can't just like type, we can legally do this, and then you can legally do it. I feel like when it comes to a lot of this crypto sort of stuff, these people are just, let's move on this quick, let's put it out there. It doesn't matter if it's illegal, let's try and get the money and get out fast. To me, All this crypto stuff just seems like a massive scam. It's almost like somebody made a comment, I don't remember where I saw it, when I was looking at all this, because I went through Reddits and all kinds of different things, looking at different people's opinions, looking for all the information, and the comments that people were making were absolutely amazing. Just ridiculing these individuals. And my favorite was actually put into a meme. So let me put that up on the screen for you. I love it. This meme, Crypto Bros, winning a pack at F&M. Is this my intellectual property? So basically that's the underlying premise of this NFT concept, right? If you own the Magic cards, then it's okay for them to get you an NFT of it, because it's like, well, you already own it. You can have a digital copy. And Wizards is going, no. You can only make digital backups for like movies and like songs and stuff like that. You can't do this. You have to legally cease what you are doing. Ultimately, I mean, even if this had gone through, it feels like a plan that would ultimately fail. But Wizards of the Coast can't allow something like this to happen for a couple of different reasons. One, it's them leaving a bunch of money on the table. They could do something similar. Two, it can really poorly affect the people's vision of the game, right? If this sort of thing is going on and people think it is literally the real deal, official through Wizards of the Coast, then Wizards could end up with, negative repercussions as a result. But either way, this situation absolutely wild to me. Like I said, there's a 7-page white paper. You can go and read all that if you want all the details. But as far as I'm concerned, this project's donezo, and there's no chance this is going anywhere. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Gonna leave links to my other channels up on the screen for you in case you want to check out the other stuff I'm doing. And I'll get back together with you soon, my friends. Goodbye for now.